And we are alive and kicking out across the nation, broadcasting out around the world, transmitting into the universe. This is at Holistic Courses at calmoasisinternational.com, and I'm your host Deborah. Your health is your choice, and here at Holistic Courses at calmoasisinternational.com we aim to empower your choices with knowledge. In tonight's episode, our fifth, we build upon the foundations of holistic therapy and moral and ethical practices. Tonight we are looking at safeguarding bodily autonomy and rights. So if you've not subscribed, then we ask you do so, because this helps us reach millions to make health a happier outcome. Remember folks, the information shared is not medical advice, nor to be construed as medical treatment. For anything medical, see a qualified licensed doctor. And this information is also not to be construed as legal advice either. For legal advice, see a lawyer for that. Now, with that out of the way, let's dive into tonight's show with moral and ethical practices, safeguarding bodily autonomy and rights. So folks, we're continuing to build upon the foundations of holistic therapy. The foundations we have been laying are all about ethical and moral practices. We delve deeper into the critical intersection of moral and ethical practice, focusing intensely on the profound topic of safeguarding bodily autonomy and our rights. This exploration is not merely an academic exercise, it is a vital call to action, an urgent plea for a world where every individual is recognized as the sovereign of their own being. At the very core of what it means to be human, we find an undeniable, inherent truth, the right of self-determination. It is the unshakable belief that each of us is the ultimate custodian of our own physical form, our personal choices, and our holistic well-being. This profound principle, known as bodily autonomy, stands as a beacon in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. Safeguarding this right is not just a dry legal obligation or a polite societal custom. It is a fundamental moral and ethical practice, a passionate imperative, and the very bedrock upon which dignity, trust, and genuine human flourishing are built. It is the freedom to exist without unwanted intrusion, to make decisions that resonate with one's deepest values and beliefs, and to live a life governed by one's own informed will, not by external dictates or coercive forces. Bodily autonomy is far more expansive than simply signing a consent form before a medical procedure. It is the quiet yet immense power to choose what nourishment we consume, how we engage with our physical environment, and how we nurture our bodies and minds. It champions the profound freedom of reproductive choice, encompassing decisions about contraception, pregnancy, and childbirth. It upholds the fundamental right to accept or refuse any medical treatment, even when faced with life-altering consequences. Beyond healthcare, it extends to the liberty to express ourselves through our physical being, whether through personal appearance, lifestyle choices, or even the subtle nuances of our daily routines. It is the embodiment of self-possession, allowing us to navigate the intricate tapestry of life authentically, with integrity, and free from undue external pressure. When this sacred right is respected, individuals blossom, radiating confidence and well-being. Conversely, when it is undermined, the ripple effects can be devastating, casting long shadows over mental, emotional, and physical health, eroding trust and fostering environments of fear and disempowerment. Yet history stands as a stark testament to the persistent challenges this sacred right has faced. Throughout various eras, the individual dominion over their own body has been questioned, often cloaked in the guise of collective good, public safety, or societal necessity. We have seen historical medical paternalism where patient voices are often sidelined, the dark spectres of forced sterilization in the name of eugenics, and even in more recent times, coercive practices in healthcare that ignored individual consent. These past few years, marked by unprecedented global health crises, brought these tensions into sharp, undeniable relief. It was in these moments of widespread anxiety and urgent public health imperatives that the unwavering commitment to safeguarding individual rights became paramount, serving as an indispensable check against potential overreach and ensuring that the inherent dignity of every human being remained firmly at the forefront of policy and practice. The ongoing struggle for bodily autonomy is a powerful and enduring testament to the human spirit, fundamental desire for self-governance and personal liberty, a narrative that continues to unfold across generations and cultures. This profound and intrinsic human right is not a fleeting modern invention. Its philosophical roots extend deep into the annals of thought, and it has been progressively recognized, affirmed, and enshrined in a robust tapestry of international and national legal frameworks. At the very bedrock of this international human rights architecture lies the United Nations Charter, adopted in 1945 amidst the rubble of a devastating global conflict. While the Charter's primary concern was the maintenance of international peace and security and establishment of cooperative relations among nations, it courageously and explicitly commits its member states to promote universal respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms for all without distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. This was a revolutionary declaration, laying the essential groundwork. This foundational commitment in the United Nations Charter directly paved the way for more detailed and explicit human rights instruments, most notably the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948, emerging directly from the profound spirit and promise of the Charter, and the UDHR, though it does not explicitly use the phrase bodily autonomy, articulates a constellation of rights that are absolutely intrinsic to its essence. Article 3. Everyone has the right to life, liberty and security of person. This powerful statement underpins the very notion that one's body is inviolable and that individuals have the fundamental freedom to exist, free from arbitrary interference. Article 5. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhumane or degrading treatment or punishment. This article directly and unequivocally prohibits any form of physical coercion, forced medical procedures, or non-consensual experimentation, standing as a bulwark against state or institutional abuse of the body. Article 12. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honour and reputation. This crucial protection extends to personal decisions about one's body and health, shielding them from unwarranted intrusions by governments, corporations or even other individuals. Subsequent international covenants and treaties such as the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights further elaborate on these rights. The Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhumane or Degrading Treatment or Punishment, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, and the Convention on the Rights of the Child specifically address bodily autonomy and integrity in the context of torture, gender, and age, respectively. Together, these documents form a comprehensive and intricate web of international legal protection that, stemming from the UN's Charter initial promise, unequivocally supports and protects bodily autonomy as a universal human right. Within the United Kingdom, these international commitments are given domestic legal force, particularly through the Human Rights Act 1998, which continually shapes judicial interpretation and public policy, reinforcing the notion that bodily autonomy is a deeply embedded and meticulously protected right within national jurisprudence. The practical implications of these principles are vividly illustrated in cases that touch the lives of ordinary individuals and indeed even former heads of state. Consider the landmark case of Regina v. Bow Street Metropolitan Stipendiary Magistrates. This pivotal UK House of Lords judgment, often referred to as the Pinochet case, fundamentally altered the understanding of state immunity for grave international crimes. While the Pinochet case primarily addressed complex issues of international law, state immunity, and universal jurisdiction, its profound connection to bodily autonomy is undeniable. Torture, by its very definition, is the most extreme and abhorrent violation of bodily integrity. It is a systematic and intentional assault on an individual's physical and psychological self, designed to break their will and deny their fundamental humanity. The House of Lords' decision to strip Pinochet of immunity for acts of torture committed after the UK ratified the Convention Against Torture in 1988 sent a powerful message. Certain egregious violations of human rights, particularly those that involve the systemic brutalization of the body, are so universally condemned that they cannot be considered legitimate acts of the state and therefore do not benefit from immunity. This ruling established that individuals, no matter their former status, can be held accountable for crimes that directly violate the bodily autonomy and integrity of countless victims. It affirmed that the protection of bodily integrity against such atrocities is a paramount concern of international law, flowing directly from the human rights principles articulated in the United Nations Charter. The Pinochet case therefore stands as a monumental legal milestone in the global effort to safeguard bodily autonomy from the most severe forms of abuse. It underscores the universal condemnation of acts that violate bodily integrity and the commitment to ensure that perpetrators of such crimes cannot hide behind notions of sovereign immunity. This international stance serves as a powerful backdrop for domestic legal protections of bodily autonomy, highlighting a global consensus that the body is sacred and inviolable. Closer to home, the compelling case of M. Trotman v. the Royal Star and Garter Homes, 2301025/2022, provides another vital illustration of bodily autonomy within an employment context. This employment tribunal decision, while seemingly a straightforward workplace dispute, serves as a powerful and pertinent testament to the critical limits of external authority when it attempts to infringe upon an individual's bodily autonomy. Trotman, a dedicated care worker, found himself facing the threat of dismissal due to his personal decision regarding certain injections. Crucially, this occurred at a time when the legal framework around mandatory injections in care settings was in a state of flux. His employer, acting on what they believed would become a future legal mandate, dismissed him before any such law was firmly in place and widely enforceable for his specific role. The tribunal painstakingly scrutinised the employer's actions, finding that the dismissal was fundamentally unfair. This was not only because the supposed legal requirement for injections was not in fact in effect at the precise moment of dismissal, but also because the employer's internal processes lacked fairness and adherence to proper procedure. The tribunal's ruling that Mr. Trotman was unfairly dismissed was far more than a mere victory for a single individual. It was a resounding echo of the profound principle that an individual's choices about their body cannot be arbitrarily overridden by an employer. It powerfully highlighted that organisations, even those operating in vital public sectors, must adhere strictly to clear legal boundaries and crucially respect the fundamental right to refuse a medical intervention in the absence of an undeniable and currently enforceable statutory requirement. The Trotman case therefore stands as a critical reminder that perceived necessity, no matter how urgent, does not automatically trump personal liberty, and meticulous due process aligned with the ethical conduct must always prevail. This underscores a vital truth. Employment contracts, while legally binding, do not grant employers unfettered or unlimited power over an employee's physical self, particularly concerning deeply personal medical choices. It reinforces the idea that an individual's bodily integrity remains protected even within the confines of an employment relationship. This ruling in employment law resonates deeply with broader legal advancements in patient autonomy, perhaps the most notably the UK Supreme Court's landmark decision in Montgomery v Lanarkshire Health Board 2015. Montgomery fundamentally revolutionised the doctrine of informed consent in medical practice. It decisively shifted the paradigm from paternalistic doctor knows best approach to one that unequivocally prioritizes the patient's right to comprehensive information and, crucially, their right to self-determination. The Supreme Court established that doctors bear a clear duty to take reasonable care to ensure that the patient is aware of any material risks involved in any recommended treatment and of any reasonable alternative or variant treatments, thereby empowering individuals to make truly informed choices about their care. The unanimous judgment emphasised that the autonomy of the patient is paramount, and this principle should serve as the guiding star for all medical advice and practice. Together, cases like Pinochet, Trotman and Montgomery illuminate a clear and unwavering legal trajectory in the UK and internationally. The individual's bodily autonomy is not merely a transient privilege, but a meticulously protected right, demanding both rigorous legal adherence and profound ethical considerations from all who interact with individuals in contexts that touch upon their bodies. This unwavering commitment to safeguarding bodily autonomy is not and cannot be confined solely to courtrooms, legal precedents, or legislative chambers. Instead, it must become the very pulsating heartbeat of moral and ethical practice across all fields that touch upon human well-being. This is precisely where the profound ethos of Oasis Holistic Therapy and its dedicated pursuit of natural organic well-being truly shines as a beacon for practitioners in these holistic fields. Embracing and championing bodily autonomy is not merely an admirable trait, it is a non-negotiable moral imperative, foundational to fostering therapeutic relationships built on the pillars of unyielding trust, profound respect, and mutual understanding. A practice rooted in these principles understands with innate clarity that true healing and profound well-being do not emerge from external imposition, but rather blossom organically from a place of deep respect for the individual's inherent wisdom and agency. It means client-centered care as an ethical imperative. Every treatment modality, every recommendation, and every single interaction is profoundly rooted in the client's explicit, freely given, and deeply informed consent. This transcends a mere checkbox exercise. It is a dynamic, ongoing process of collaborative, shared decision-making. There is no hint of coercion, no trace of judgment, only an unwavering commitment to providing comprehensive, transparent, and accessible information. The ultimate goal is to empower the client to make choices that authentically align with their own unique values, comfort levels, and desired outcomes. Truly ethical practitioners prioritize the client's autonomous agency above all else, recognizing that healing is a deeply personal journey. Empowerment through authentic education. Instead of simply prescribing solutions, Calm Oasis illuminates diverse pathways. It offers extensive evidence-informed knowledge about natural organic well-being, enabling clients to autonomously explore, evaluate, and ultimately choose practices, remedies, and lifestyle adjustments that genuinely resonate with their innate desire for health and balance. This educational approach recognizes that the most sustainable, impactful, and transformative well-being emerges from self-led choices, thereby fostering an enduring sense of ownership, responsibility, and empowerment over one's own health journey. Creating a safe sanctuary, a moral obligation. The very name Calm Oasis evokes a space where trust is not just anticipated, but meticulously built and rigorously maintained. It implies an environment completely free from pressure, where vulnerabilities are not only acknowledged but deeply respected, and where the commitment to safeguarding and respecting clients' rights are not merely a marketing tagline, but a living, breathing, and consistently applied promise woven into the very fabric of every interaction. It's about consciously fostering an atmosphere where clients feel profoundly secure enough to assert their boundaries, ask questions without any fear of reprisal, and remain absolutely confident in their inherent right to choose or refuse any aspect of their care. This unwavering ethical stance cultivates a deeply respectful, truly therapeutic, and profoundly healing environment where autonomy flourishes. Safeguarding bodily autonomy is therefore a continuous, unwavering act of vigilance, profound empathy, and unwavering advocacy. It is about consciously and actively creating societal structures, legal frameworks, and individual practices where every single person is consistently treated as the rightful and undisputed sovereign of their own body. This grand endeavour requires ongoing, courageous dialogue, comprehensive education, and persistent advocacy to ensure that evolving policies, public discourse, and individual attitudes profoundly and consistently reflect this fundamental human right. It demands that we courageously challenge entrenched assumptions, vigilantly question any potential overreach of power, and passionately champion the quiet yet formidable strength of individual choice. The Pinochet case, with its global implications against torture, and the Trotman case, with its specific relevance to employment and personal medical choice, both serve as a stark and powerful reminder of the very real battles that must be fought to uphold this right, while the aspirational vision of Oasis Holistic Therapy beautifully illustrates how transformative, graceful and deeply healing its consistent ethical application can be within a professional context. The journey towards a truly autonomous society is an ongoing, evolving process. It is a journey that emphatically calls for individuals, institutions, and governments alike to not only pay lip service to, but actively and consistently uphold the profound principles articulated in the foundational United Nations Charter and all subsequent international human rights instruments. It means fostering environments where consent is always unequivocally affirmative, where information is perpetually transparent, accessible and understandable, where respect for personal integrity is absolute and unwavering. When we champion bodily autonomy with conviction and unwavering commitment, we are in essence championing human dignity itself, thereby enabling each person to live a life defined by their own informed choices, flourishing in health and grounded in profound self-respect. Let us therefore each carry this torch forward with passion and purpose, inspiring a world where bodily autonomy is not merely an abstract legal concept or an aspirational ideal, but a tangible lived reality for all, a non-negotiable cornerstone of a truly compassionate, equitable and empowered society. For it is only when we truly respect the body that we profoundly respect the person, and in that deep, abiding respect lies the ultimate foundation for genuine wellness and enduring human dignity. Your health is your choice, and here at Holistic Courses at calmoasisinternational.com we aim to empower your choices with knowledge, and we have been looking at foundational elements of moral and ethical practices, because we believe that your health is your choice and we want to make people's health a happier outcome. And this includes the absolute cornerstone, your bodily autonomy, and safeguarding that. I'm Deborah, and you've been with me here at Holistic Courses at calmoasisinternational.com, where I aim to empower you with that knowledge to make your health a happier outcome, including safeguarding your bodily autonomy. It is upon each and every one of us to take this stand about our own body and our own autonomy, standing in the light. Many best wishes, and until the next time, take care, keep strong, stay well. Toodle pip for now.